Between ideals and bureaucracy, how powerful is UNESCO? In the interview, UNESCO Director General Irina Bokova.
Ms. Bokova, you're the first woman at the helm of UNESCO. Do you do things differently to the way your male predecessors did?
This is a very interesting question, which I'm often asked. I'm very proud to be the first woman because, as our Department on Gender Equality told me recently, at least since I became Director General, the letters that UNESCO receives to this gender equality unit, division at UNESCO, have tripled. It means that, first, of course, the fact that I'm a woman attracts more attention. And then I think it's important because women feel more confident that another woman can achieve such an important post. Whether I do it differently, I can't say. Each Director General has its own style, its own way of doing. But I did put gender equality as one of my personal priorities also. It was a priority of UNESCO in any case.
Your organization frequently condemns the violation of fundamental civic rights. What's your position on the many reported cases of abuse in both Catholic and secular boarding schools?
UNESCO is not exactly an organization that defending human rights. We are not the Human Rights Council, but as a United Nations agency, and also having as our core values also within our constitution peace, rights of human beings, dignity, of course. We are very much interested in all these cases. I think that our first and highest priority from the point of view of human rights is freedom of expression, which is our core mandate. It's defending the rights of journalists, defending the right to access to information, freedom of opinion. It's putting legislation which guarantees freedom of media and expression. Last year we noticed that there were 77 journalists all over the world who have lost their life because they defended this right, this freedom of expression, because they wanted us to know all the people in different parts of the world. And what is most sad in my mind is that the majority of these journalists have not fell victim in a conflict somewhere in the battle zone, but they were journalists because they wanted us to know, and because some criminals or other interests have wanted this way to shut their mouth.
Let's stay for a moment at UNESCO defending the freedom of expression. There are many member countries in UNESCO who at home suppress the media and prosecute journalists. How do you personally live with that?
We try to change mentality and politics in different countries. We are an intergovernmental organization, and through our standing as an objective, as a neutral player, as somebody who is defending values, important values in this world, I think we influence a lot of situations. We try to promote such projects and such ideas mainly in those countries where we feel there is a lack of understanding and of knowledge and of importance. We talk to political decision makers. We talk to the intellectual community. We talk to the civil society. In order to promote the freedom of expression. I do believe that it's not sufficient only to say, yes, we defend, to make this declaration and then to end here. What our role is to make it real, and we make it real by trying to convince all these stakeholders that this is important.
Ms. Bokova, you launched 2010 as the, I quote that, year of the rapprochement of cultures. What does that mean exactly?
It was a very important event for UNESCO because for a very long time, I believe here at UNESCO we didn't have a big forum which is dedicated to the extremely important area of tolerance, of dialogue, of respect for diversity, of talking to each other. So the International Year of Rapprochement of Cultures help us and encourages us all to start thinking, to rethink the paradigm of peace and of tolerance, of dialogue.
In the early 90s, American scholar Samuel Huntington warned against an imminent clash of civilizations. Is this rapprochement your antidote?
At the end of the 90s, I was spending a year at the University of Maryland, and I do believe we invited Mr. Huntington to debate with him this idea. I was, to be very frank, I was very much against it. I was very even disturbed by this theory. I reject it with all my, I would say, personal experience also, being a Bulgarian, which is a multicultural society, a multi-religious society. My own family, my own experience is testifying against it. I come from a very small town in Bulgaria, southwest part of Bulgaria, where 90% of the population is Muslim. They're Bulgarians, but they're Muslims, and it's exactly this mixture of different cultures that I've been living through, which has brought me to this rejection and this opinion. First, I don't believe we're different civilizations that constantly clash. All the history of humanity shows that there are different cultures, of course, there are different experiences, but they have always been influencing each other, permeating each other. And I do believe that through more knowledge about each other, through a dialogue, not violent clashes, we can have a more peaceful world.
Defending diversity in unity, sticking to the universal values, the values UNESCO is founded upon. But I wonder if these values, the universalism, the Western universalism, hasn't led to globalization as we know it. How do you respond to that?
Well, I believe that globalization has a tremendous power, transforming power, and has brought a lot of success stories in many parts of the world. On the other side, I do believe we forgot about the social side was neglected probably, and the human side more. That's why we see people all over the world feel kind of lonely and abandoned. We see that in Europe also, very much developing. And that's why I believe that we at UNESCO, we don't have all the answers, but we have tremendously contributed to giving more feeling of assurance, some kind of roots to people. I'm talking of heritage, what we do in terms of protection and preservation of world heritage. I believe that culture has an enormous, tremendous force to transform societies, to make societies more coherent, more inclusive. Culture plays enormous role in post-conflict situations, in decreasing violence in certain societies, in educating young people. Culture is becoming also an extremely important economic driving force for some societies, and for some societies which otherwise will not develop a huge manufacturing industry, or we don't have natural resources to do it. But through education and culture, I think that they can transform their societies.
Irina Bokova, UNESCO Director General, thank you very much for joining us on DW TV.
Thank you for this interest. Thank you.